What is good? It is the hip hop panel. We are back for another episode. And today we're coming to talk about a major announcement that happened. What was it, Rosewood? How long ago did this announcement of Cassidy versus Freeway 2 happen? What was it, about a week ago?
Yeah, because they announced it, Drake announced it during the battle he did, the battle he put together. And that was a real big thing with Smack saying, like, yeah, I'm about to have, we're having a major battle coming up the top of the year. And when he brought out Cassidy, like, okay, we didn't expect for a Freeway to come out. So, yeah, about like a week or whatever.
And
So,
we're actually gonna get into the comments that were made from both Cassidy and Freeway on that day. A lot of people have been asking, when is Cassidy gonna return? To what stage is he gonna return? And that stage is gonna be URL. Cassidy is gonna be returning to the ring, and he's got a very special opponent, and this is something that we've all speculated on, but it's officially gonna happen. Cassidy versus Freeway 2. You know what I'm saying? Rosewood, Twiz, Bonds. I think we're all majorly excited about this because we've all spoken about this here on the show. Twiz, what do you make of this Philly versus Philly thing, though, man? This is something we touched on as well.
It's a beautiful thing because, we talking about original era of Philly hip hop. Before it switched up a lot. And these are like, battles that people would have loved to see. You know what I mean? Even if Freeway and Cass battled 10 years ago, people would have loved it. You know what I mean? Like is like something highly anticipated due to the fact that at the time when Free battled, like when you coming from Philly or you coming from certain hoods, first thing you do is freestyle, you rap, you know what I mean? You can put punchlines out, bars, but the goal was always to be a structured artist that could make album material. Not to put an excuse out there for Freeway, but at that time, he was structured as a artist that was making music, was making real songs. So you can tell by his rap pattern in that battle, that was something that would have been better on the song than in the battle. And Freeway been following the battle culture for years. So I'm just curious to see what is his angle going to be. Are we going to hear the original Philadelphia Free, or are we going to hear a new, well-groomed Philadelphia Free in that battle? So it's highly anticipated. It's good. It's no violence or nothing involved in it. You know what I mean? It's all love. So it's a beautiful thing.
Now, we've also got some thoughts from AR Rab on this exclusive battle. But before we get into those thoughts, I want to check in with you, Bonds. And, don't give us a prediction just yet, but I want to get your thoughts on this actually happening now on a bigger stage compared to what they had before. Now it's going to be taking place on URL's stage.
That's dope, man. That is dope. I think not predicting, but I just think it's pressure on Freeway, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know, you're gonna dig deep with all of with the 20 plus years of you know what I mean, of animosity, or you gonna walk in there with it, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can't lose this one, man.
Yeah, Rosewood, you spoke about it a little bit. Freeway stepped on that stage, though, and, man, he looked like he's on another level right now. You know what I mean? He looked good, I'll say that. We all know that he's been, dabbling with Roc Nation. He's consistently releasing projects, but he looked good on this mainstream platform, Rosewood.
Yes. And he also said he been studying, he been watching. Freeway, like, to go back to what Twiz was saying, when he rapped on with their first battle, Freeway had all songs. So, Cassidy was coming with that already. Freeway was, I say, ahead of his time. Because like Twiz said, it's one thing to be a freestyler or be able to freestyle and, kick rounds on the block or the radio station. It's another thing to put those songs together. And Free could do that. But Free also comes from a battling background. Before he signed to the Roc or anywhere, you have to battle in the city of Philadelphia. You know, so he comes from that background, and he's been sitting back doing his homework. It's very interesting because you got a lot of people saying they think it's going to be like the old one. I don't think so. I don't see Freeway coming in there half-assed.
Well, I think Freeway has a great voice for the acapella platform as well. That's something I want to say. Like when we addressed other battles and rappers having the voice is a quality that goes with stepping on that stage. Now I want to get into the comments that were made from both of the MCs once they touched the stage. Now, Cassidy was the first out, and he said, Bars is back in 2022. We're going to get something big popping. It's not just for Philly, it's for the culture. Cassidy said, we started this shit. Before y'all seen anyone battle and anyone hit the stage, y'all saw me and Freeway go at it. So y'all about to see it all over again, the futuristic version. Now, Twiz, Cassidy said this will be the futuristic version. Take me into how different this is going to be, you know, from them just, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, but how different is this going to be from just them standing in front of Jay-Z and Swiss Beats now that they're on this big of a platform?
The difference is back then, it would be like this. I might have 30 raps that I done wrote over my time of, you know, trying to become a rapper. You know, Rosewood might have 30 raps that he wrote. So you, Jay-Z, Bonds is Dame, or just to throw that out there. Now, y'all two set the battle up for me and Rosewood. It's on site, bro. So the material that we're using is reps that we already got. It's not directed to each other. You hear people from the early generation, they might battle with a rap and then they freestyle with the same rap on the beat. So what's different about this is that they get in time to write about each other, and they both are guaranteed to speak on what happened in that battle. You know what I mean? They both get a chance to really break it down, like, and talk about each other's character, you know, for as though how they feel from each other or whatever. So that's what the difference is.
And Twiz, I would be Jay-Z and Bonds would have actually been Swizz Beats. So
yeah, that's what I meant to say.
I like what you're saying though there, because back in the day, they both, you know, Bonds, they came with 30 raps, you know, maybe they did 10 rounds, you know what I mean? But now in this new format, they're going to have to compress that into 3 rounds. But like Twiz also said, it's going to be more direct bars than it was back then. We've got 20 years of history, as you said, Bonds, that they're going to be looking towards. Freeway is going to be possibly rapping about different portions of Cassidy's career. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that, Rosewood? 20 years in the making here. This could really get all kinds of ugly, but it's positive vibes, really.
Yeah, it's positive vibes. First and foremost, it's always going to be a competitive nature. There's always friendly competition because we all from the city. And at the same time, like you said, there's so much rich history, not just history, so much rich history between Cassidy and Freeway, and that's between them in the city. Like I said, going back to Freeway Ice City days, shout out the whole Ice City. You know, when P.D. Crack was Pedro Tequila, stuff like that. Your battle, you know, your battle and all that. And even that day he battled Cassidy, he said he was freestyling the whole day, like at every radio station in New York. So like Twiz said, you know, the 30 raps you got, you know, you're now limited because you don't want to repeat the same raps that you freestyle with, whatever. So it's more difficult then. So now converting it into what they already know how to do and giving them the lane, like you said, to sit back and analyze and say, this is what I want to put in, this is how I want to spit this bar, this is the double entendre I want to hit them with. You know, it can get, you know, it's going to have the hooks and the jabs in there. We're like, ooh.
It is.
Or this is where Cassidy got me last time, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen.
What?
Now, Twiz, before I get into before I get into Freeway's statement, did you have something you wanted to say?
I did want to add something else also. Freeway, he was like a fast rapper. he was great at making songs. But at the time when Cassidy battled Freeway, whoever would have been in front of Cassidy, it would have been a problem. Because at this day and time, at that particular time frame, Cassidy was like a freak of nature. He mastered punchlines. He was like very disrespectful with, he would make your greatest rapper look a fool. You know what I mean? Like he was like really, really different. But Cassidy continued to rap through everything. Like he stayed active, and we saw him battle Freeway. We don't know what to expect. You know what I mean? We don't know what to expect. He slow it down. He's going to definitely have to slow his flow down for sure. You know what I mean? He can't be spitting fast how he normally do. But I just wanted to add that on there.
One thing we do know, Twiz, that we can't have come to expect from Freeway is a consistent stream of music, whether he's been on Roc-A-Fella on a major or whether he's had to dive into an independent market. Freeway has always consistently put out albums, so I'm going to give that to him in that respect. The man, he's a music machine, you know what I mean? And like I said earlier, I think his voice is really going to go well to this culture, this battle rap. I think it's really going to go well with it. Now, let's get into Freeway's comments that he made when he came and spoke about this battle. Freeway had this to say: top of the year, 2022. All I'm going to say is I've been studying the culture. Like Cass said, me and him started this shit, and I'm ready. Y'all not going to get what you think. You're going to get what you need. Bonds, I want to get your take right there on Freeway saying that he was studying the culture, man.
Yeah, I mean, as artists, I think everybody is can appreciate the battle culture, you know what I'm saying, especially with dudes took it and all that. So yeah, to know that he's studying it, and if he agreed to this battle, he probably ready. And right, like the energy he came out with, you know what I mean, to announce it looked like he was ready. So it's just a matter of, you know what I'm saying, how ready are you? How you know what I'm saying? What did you know what I mean? How much of your source you gonna throw on that and try to recreate things, or how much you gonna stick to the blueprint of what you studied? You know what I'm saying? How can you emulate that? Can you know what I'm saying? Even though really he going against Cass, and Cass ain't really perfected, like, you know what I mean? So I think bars wise, I don't know. So, but it sounds like he should be. I want to see that.
Now, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting you say that, Bonds, because when Cassidy has come to battle you guys, at this point, he has not done any of these, special attraction matches, like Floyd Mayweather doing the special attraction fights. At this point, he's really just come in and he's battling straight up battle rappers, This is the first time that Cassidy is actually stepping in with a former rapper, like on that level. Rosewood, I did want to ask you, Freeway saying that this is happening at the top of the year, 2022. What's your take on this happening in 2022, man? This is a very big thing to look forward to.
Oh, yes, it is. Definitely. I think everybody's looking forward to it. Like Bond said, it's very interesting because we really don't know. We know Freeway's body of work and his work ethic. He hasn't been in the battle arena. Cassie has a few of them under his belt. But I think Twiz said or Bond said, or even you, he hasn't, been up there on those like certain cards or whatever. So he's still really grinding. And this is the first time there's another actual rapper. Somebody would consider one of Cassidy's peers, that he's battling, that he battled before, almost like the Reed and Boot joint, but it's almost like two industry guys battling. This is the first time we had two guys that had label deals, sold records, set trends in hip hop and all that, and now they're coming back to battle in the new era. So it's really interesting. I don't see how anybody can really not say they wouldn't want to see that. Just because knowing Freeway, the person that he is, the energy, the time, and the consistency he takes with his work. If he said he's been watching, he's been studying, he got tricks up his sleeve. There's no way you can count Free out. And you just got to see what's going to happen. We got to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a big point because a few months ago, Twiz, a few months ago, I don't think we really thought this was going to happen. I did an
Thanks.
interview with Cassidy, and he said if it were to get put up on the table, if the bag were to be presented, he would be down for it. And a lot of people said, nah, Cassidy versus Freeway isn't going to happen again. But here it is happening. The bag has been placed. And I would have to say, Twiz, it raised your anticipation level, the fact that somebody made this happen.
That's a fact, man. It's a fact. What I just wanted to speak on, excuse me for a what I wanted to touch up on that is I can picture Freeway giving Cassidy the 8 Mile treatment. All because of the history, the pain that Freeway endured. Let's not forget, big shout out to Free. It takes a lot as a man for these things that he went through in life, from the kidney issues to losing 2 children. I feel like he's going to be a different kind of animal. And if he can put his pain in his verses and pretty much touch on the reality of what's going on and make Cassidy look like, bro, what you rapping is sound hot, but how real is it? That's all Freeway got to do, bro. He got to put it in that structure where, if not, no round, that third round, going to have to hit where he's really letting it be known. Like, I've been through this, I've been through that, or people felt as though you beat me the first battle. You know what I mean? He put all of that in his rounds, then he can get the win. And Cassidy already probably feel like he can run through Freeway. Cassidy got the mind state where nobody in the world can beat him, let alone someone that he beat in the battle before. He like, this going to be a cakewalk. So I feel like Free is in a position at 8 Mile Cassidy if he play his cards right.
What a statement right there. Freeway potentially going to 8 Mile Cassidy. And Rosewood, Bonds, before we get into your thoughts and outcome of this battle potentially, I want to read a statement that I got from AR Rab. I had to let him know once this was made official. I've been keeping in touch with Ab on some battle rap aspects as far as, what Drake said he wanted to see with Murder Mook and Sue Surf. So I felt it was necessary to hit Ab up about Freeway and Cassidy too. And this is what Ab had to say. He said, I think Freeway makes better music than Cassidy, but Cassidy is a better battle rapper. I don't believe Freeway is ready for the new style of battling. It took Cassidy several battles to get adjusted to the new style. Freeway is fresh in it, so I believe he'll probably lose this battle. I truly hope Freeway is training and preparing properly for it. I hope he's watching all the other battles and preparing. That's a crazy statement that I got from Ab. He had told me how much he loved Freeway's album, his debut album, as we spoke on earlier, that Freeway was working on when he had originally went and battled Cassidy. But Cassidy, as you guys have said time and time again, is more known on the tip of actually battling. Now, Bonds, how much of this is actually going to go into Freeway actually watching and preparing by viewing some of the other battles?
Some of the other battle?
Yeah, some of the other battles that have, taken place, whether it was Cassidy's battle.
I mean, a lot, because, I noticed like the battle rap, like their core fan base, like that's really the battle rap community, like all the dudes that in every line from every battle and all of that stuff. Like, you got to understand what they react to, because a lot of things is, a lot of times it's not just the raps, it's other things. Like, it may be stage performance, or it may be certain things you got to mention that got to resonate with the crowd. So he, like you say, he was studying, so of course that gotta be a part of it for sure.
Yep. Ab said Freeway is fresh in it. Rosewood, do you see this as more of a one-off for Freeway, a good opportunity to get a nice bag, but also do something classic for the culture? Or do you think, if Freeway thrives, is it something he could return to, man? Just you, what do you personally think?
Yeah, personally, I think if he thrives in it, Freeway will continue to do it. If it's in his heart and he has the passion there to do it, I think Freeway would. If he has those two factors right there, the passion and he's doing good in this arena, I think he will continue on too, just like Cass.
Or just like
I think
Votto, looking for his next.
or like Votto, looking for his next opponent. Great example, Michael T. I like that. Looking for his next opponent.
It seemed like Votto called out Lloyd Banks, but that's a topic for another day. I'm going to bring it over to Twiz.
He's waiting. Yeah, he's waiting.
Right. That's why I feel like it would be dudes like that, though. I don't think they would battle. I don't think like Freeway would battle other battle rappers. They probably want dudes that's kind of more industry.
It's a good point.
I agree. I think it would be more industry than us.
So I'm going to bring it over to Twiz. I want to get your reaction to Arab's statement about the battle in general. Did Ab hit it on the head again, as you said in our first episode?
Not really. I feel as though Cass was active. You know what I mean? He was active. He jumped back in the arena. But Cass, who did Cass give the Freeway treatment to since he been back? Like the Freeway was the only battle that people saw on camera that was overkill. People from out Philly and the tri-state know that Cassidy was giving people that Freeway treatment off of camera. But as far as documented battles, he came back. Cassidy is a master at pushing the narrative before and after the battle. He's a master at that. He will get into a science. He will have you thinking like, damn, he is right. You know what I mean? He will have you thinking. Cass is very smart, but he didn't even master his craft in battling yet. Because when he came in the game,
go ahead, bro.
I mean,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You good? Like when he came to the battle culture, if we can all, recap, Cass was like, no, I'm gonna show these people how it's done. I'm not changing up nothing. I'm not. And then every battle after that, he tried to change up more and more and more. You know what I mean? So he's still trying to get comfortable. Cass can get trashed by the right person on that stage. And he definitely can get trashed by somebody from Philly that says the right things. You know what I mean? That's he's active, but I don't think he's dangerous. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like Freeway, like I said, if he says the right things, Freeway can get the victory because we know Freeway for how he raps from the past. When we think about them two battling, the first thing we're going to think about is when they battled and how that outcome came. But it's a different day and time. People are so used to how Cassidy rap. It's Cassidy will have to switch it way up and be completely different, but I can't see Cass being too different. So I don't think that.
I'm going to agree with you, Twiz, because Cassidy has not really walked anybody for 3 rounds in any of his battles. So that's a good point. But Ab says, when he looks at the comparison, he just says Freeway has better music. Cassidy, obviously more known in the battle rap leagues. But Ab is going with Freeway to lose this battle, Cassidy to win, which I think will be the majority of people's prediction at this point. We're not going to give our predictions just yet, you guys, because anything could really happen in the next couple months. I assume Cassidy may even put out a couple records addressing the upcoming battle. It could happen, and we'll come back here on the Hip Hop panel and address it. But the next topic we're going to talk about is everything going on with Kanye West and Beanie Sigel, man. Everybody seems to be talking about this, man. After Kanye West made this statement on Drink Champs, he said Yeezy was Beanie's name for me when I was at Baseline on some that's Yeezy. make him one of us. He let me wear the state property chain. He really just embraced me. Kanye also said that he's been trying to find a way to compensate Sigel for coming up with the name for his billion-dollar brand. He also said, I still owe Beanie money, and I've been trying to give him this money for a minute. I've been trying to give him this. The man made up the name. Rosewood, first off, I'm going to go to you on what do you make of Kanye West bringing this to the public light on in the first place on Drink Champs? You know, the fact that he wants to actually compensate Beanie Sigel.
First of all, I want to say shout out Beanie Sigel, man. You know, Philly's greatest rapper, man. Shout out to Beanie, man. And shout out to Kanye West, you know, for, you know, giving those flowers out. And Kanye does that. It just goes over a lot of people's head for other stuff. But for Kanye to acknowledge that for Sigel is so major. It is so major because it shows that the accomplishments that Philly, that we bring to the industry, you know, we look at the people that they turn away and say, no, you're rocking with us. I see your vision, I see your talent. Come on, rock with us. You know, that's real major for Kanye to say that. And it's also major for Kanye to say that because if it was Beanie Sigel saying that, it'll be so many people, oh, Beanie crazy. He didn't make that name up. He didn't do this, counting this shit out. But when Kanye said it, it's already going to be solidified to stand because they know he's not just going to bullshit. You know, and it was always like a urban legend in Philadelphia, you know, about that Sigel gave him the name. We already know he brought him into the camp and put the state prop chain on his neck. You know? So basically, Philly Kanye out. He Phillied him out. Once they started working together, he's a part of him being him. So like you said, even with the brand, you know, just from to give him the name, Kanye didn't think of the name. He didn't have any nickname. And Kanye earned his nickname from one of the best rapper in Philadelphia, Beanie Sigel, and at the time one of the hardest rappers in the industry.
Right.
So for him to acknowledge you and bring you in when the likes of Jay-Z and not even Dame Dash, you know, were interested into you. You know, it was Sigel the one that, you know, put you in that position where they can see all your talents. Now Dame Dash, he rap. And now, oh no, let him rap. You know, so I'm glad he did that, man. That's real honorable, man. It's honorable on your part, you know. And like I said, shout out to him and Sigel, man, because they made some classic hits. Made some classic hits, man. Bless Sigel with those beats that Sigel needed to elevate from just being a regular Philly rapper to that guy that everybody wants to hear.
Yeah, and also I want to say it was definitely like a cool factor, you know, like how Kanye was explaining it, how Beanie would be like, that's Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like that name right there, he solidified it in front of whatever artists that were at the studio at whatever time when he had him over there at Baseline Studio. Twiz, what's your thoughts on Beanie Sigel taking Kanye, you know, under his wing back then, you know, letting him wear the chains, you know, putting him in the position to be at Baseline and actually work with him, who Beanie Sigel was like one of the biggest, like the most, like one of the rappers that you would want to be around back then. You know, it was like legendary to be around Beanie Sigel.
Facts. For the whole situation, I got 2 words for it, man, and that's loyalty and timing. When Kanye came to Roc-A-Fella, he was a fan of State Prop of Beans and Hove and you know, they was already smoking when he came over there. You know what I mean? They was lit. They was them guys. And not to get in too much details, but I did an interview with Crack a while back, and Crack had explained them being at Baseline Studio, and him and Sparks was standing at the end of the hallway, and they was like, "Yay, what's up?" And Kanye came down the hallway skipping, like he skipped to them. So being street guys, it's like me, Mikey, and Bonds. We might be looking at this guy like, you know what? Who is like this guy? Like, yo, he's kind of goofy, man. But Rosewood, like, nah, that's not Rodney, that's Lil Rock. He good. He my folk. Like he's official. That person gonna remember that forever. And it happens a lot. But a lot of times people don't give people their flowers when they become into. You see how the tables turn where Kanye is at the level that he's at. For him to do that, that's loyalty and timing. You know, it's like a lot of slogans. Even like we was talking before Rosewood, when we was on the last stream, and we was talking about like terms like it's up and things of that nature. Like people who don't really put out there like, yo, this really came from that. Like this is love. That just shows you the space that Kanye is in. And he's going to forever receive blessings because it takes a lot as a man. He could have easily just kept rolling and Beans could have been doing rants like I named him this and that. Kanye didn't even have to respond, even though Beans didn't say that. But it shows you the stage and man, like much love and respect to Kanye for that because Beans, you know, will definitely can make things happen with that for him and his family and, you know, help other people out. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
So now Kanye West mentioned he would like to give Beanie Sigel something, but Bonds recently, Beanie Sigel made a club appearance in Philadelphia, and Sigel responded and actually revealed some information to the crowd where he said, I got a call from the MFer the other day. That's right. Bring in your ads, whatever you want. We don't be cussing too much on the show. He said, I got a call from that MFer the other day, Kanye West. He said, Sig, I owe you $50 million and 5% stock in Yeezy. Now, Bonds, I'm going to ask you, $50 million?
50
million for a name?
50 ball.
What do you think about that, Bonds? 50 million, and don't discount the 5% stock in Yeezy.
Nah, that's honorable, bro. Like, you know, like dudes was saying, man, he did something that was even, you know, because that name, like especially somebody like Kanye, man, that name was gave him an alter ego, gave him a whole nother life. So he created so much, and he was being honest with himself. Like, nah, this Yeezy, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're saying that love that was showed, man. When you at a down moment and you unsure yourself, you get that good push the right way, you know what I'm saying? You're going to appreciate that if you're a real individual, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did the real thing, and he's acknowledging, you know what I'm saying? He's giving acknowledgement, man, where it's due, so.
Right. It was his godfather name. You know what I mean? He gave him his godfather name. And, you know, maybe that name Yeezy wasn't going to materialize and be worth everything back then, you know, but look at it now. I mean, I was just walking by the Gap. I was walking by when I was shopping, and I was like, yo, you got that YZY? You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be like, I guess, the cheaper brand of Yeezy or something like that. Maybe I have it wrong. But let me bring it over to you, Twiz. What's your reaction to this whole thing, man? Because, you know, sometimes people could throw 50 million out there. You know, he's going to give me something. He's a billionaire. He's going to give me 50 million. What's your reaction to this whole thing, you know, when the numbers are getting thrown out there like that?
My reaction is I wouldn't have said it out in public like that. I don't care if even Kanye gave me the bread. You know, I might have touched up on it in an interview or something in the future. You know what I mean? Like, you know, be like, you know what? You know, I wouldn't even have said the amount. Like, you know, Kanye blessed me, man. He a good dude for that. I wouldn't have came out and said it like that. But, you know, for Kanye to offer him that, I feel like Kanye is in this space where he not going to get offended. You know, he been around Sieg plenty of times, so he knows Sieg character. Sieg is, you know, he like an open book, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, it's well respected, man, because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sieg was definitely a trendsetter. You know what I mean? The early was a big slogan that was used early. Then after that, like we all say facts now. Right. I never really heard nobody press that word in a way until Sieg went on Taxstone. I didn't hear nobody really say, like, I remember when he went on Taxstone and he was like, facts, facts. After that, a few people made fun of it. Now we all say it. You know, we all put it in our vocabulary. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely a trendsetter, man. So salute to him, because if it wasn't Yeezy, he might have came out with the Kanye Wests, and it might not have been as catchy. People might not even wanted them speaks then. But Yeezy is so catchy. It's like, it sound right. Like, you know, I got these Yeezys. You know, it just float right.
And now that he's had Yeezy, now that he's had the Yeezy, now he could step into his Ralph Lauren and just call it Kanye West. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now, Rosewood, what's your take, man? You know, when it comes to $1 billion, I guess 50 million isn't really, you know, really moving much when it comes to that. And when we look at the past, you know, he's had albums called Yeezus. I mean, he even changed his name to Ye. So a lot has been put into this moniker of Yeezy.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's why it's definitely owed to Sigel. Like you said, the company is worth, you know, if not $1 billion, hundreds of millions of dollars. So 50 million is a drop in the bucket. You know, 5% of the company is dropping the bucket, but it's a drop in the bucket to somebody, you know, that's getting those M's. But for somebody like Beans, you know, after everything he went through, the ups and downs, this is almost like a blessing. And he can also bring that money back, and that's giving people economic skills now. They're showing like, look, I'm gonna give you this percentage. So now once you do that, you have all the young bulls asking, well, like, all right, what's percentage in the company? How do I get percentage in the company? You know, and then he was able to explain that and bring so much more. So it's definitely, you know, I don't think it's definitely something going on the Kanye's way to do it. I don't think it's nothing going on his way.
Well, from what I was reading, it is Beanie Sigel who put that information out there about the 50 million and about the 5%. Like Twiz was saying, though, I don't think that's really information that people really like to be putting out there too much like that, you know, get the actual, like, because let's be honest, if Beanie Sigel gets $50 million from Kanye West, I would have to say his lifestyle is going to change drastically. Wouldn't you say, Bonds, Twiz? Wouldn't you say, Bonds? Like, if he gets $50 million from Kanye West, he's gonna have a Phantom. He's gonna have people opening doors from him. He's gonna start wearing leather gloves all day. You know, his life.
I don't think he's gonna go that far.
I was about to say that wouldn't be smart, but
yeah, God's willing, he will understand that. Yeah, God's willing, he will understand he getting a second chance at life, because we all know from Philly, Rosewood, you already remember, like, you know, when he got that deal and all that, like, Sieg was one of the first people bending through corners with Maseratis and all that. Like, as soon as he got that deal money, he was, you know, going hard. So, you know, now I feel like he's older and more mature. So, you know, God's willing, he make the proper decisions, and he can put himself in a position where his money can make money for him.
Exactly.
Facts.
Lifestyle shouldn't change at all, actually.
Facts, man. Facts, man. It shouldn't change at all. I think his lifestyle really should be the same. You know,
you're already a fan. You're already, you know what I'm saying, a celebrity. So
you've been
how
there
much
and did
lifestyle got to change anyway? You should be making that money work for you, man. Make that 50, make it $1 billion now, man. You got to catch up, man.
Yeah, like Kim said.
Well, I think his life is going to change drastically if he gets $50 million, man. You know what I'm saying?
It is, but you can blow 50 million too if you get too big headed.
Yeah,
you know what
can
I
blow
mean?
50 million in a year. I mean,
you don't make no sound investments, you're gonna blow 50 million. Cost to be alive. You're gonna blow
That's why the percentage in the company is so important, because that's a residual income for Sigel, you know, to have. And now when I first heard it, what I heard was that's what Sigel was offering. You know, Kanye wanted to give me something. This is something that I like. He put out the offer. You know, 50 million, 5%. It never was you know, oh, this is what it's going to be. He threw out an offer. It could be anything. Kanye can give him 100 million and 10% in the company. I don't think we will ever know how much Kanye gives Siegel if that does happen. I don't think
there's
we
going
will
to
ever
be a
know.
non-disclosure agreement. So whether it's $2 million or whether it's stock, 8% stock or whatever amount, you know what I mean? Which eventually, which will be a crazy amount, but.
Right. That'll be a crazy amount. But I don't think we'll know. And I think it goes back to what Twiz was saying, is that certain things not supposed to be out in the public atmosphere.
Exactly, because what Kanye is giving Beans, the average person wouldn't. Let's keep it a stack. You know what I mean? That's like Jay-Z saying he gonna cut Dame Dash and Biggs and them checks because it, you know what I mean? Like it don't really happen.
Roc Nation checks.
Exactly.
Yeah, it don't happen. Right. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next check that Jay, Big, and Dame are gonna get together will probably be for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That'd be nice. Dame definitely in his rock and roll bag heavy right now.
Yeah, but guys, man, really appreciate everybody tapping in for the episode today. We are the Hip Hop Panel. Everybody out there, where you can follow me. It's Mikey T _ the movie star. Everybody who follows me based on this video, I'm going to follow you back. We had 2 heavy topics today, man. Obviously Cassidy and Freeway is going to be one of the most heavily anticipated battles coming up 2022. But the whole world is buzzing about Beanie Sigel again, you guys. I mean, it wasn't but a month and a half ago we were on here talking about the potential of a Beanie Sigel versus Nori versus. You know what I'm saying? And now here we are talking about Kanye West and Beanie Sigel once again. So before I send it off to Rosewood to do his plugs, I just want to say, when we look at this situation here, it's pretty amazing. Whatever amount of money Beanie Sigel gets or whatever amount of compensation, however they do it, it's amazing how far some friendship and some loyalty can take you, man. So that's one of the shining lights of this whole scenario here. Because, Beanie Sigel has been through a lot in his career, from, jail time, missing out on seeing his albums, from missing out on movie roles, I'm sure, from what he had got started with the state property films, to even missing out on the relationship he thought he was going to have with Roc-A-Fella Records, Jay-Z and Dame Dash splitting up. But I appreciate everybody tuning in to the Hip Hop Panel tonight. As I said, follow me, Mikey T _ the movie star. I'll follow everybody back that follows me. Let me pass it to Rosewood, though.
You already know what it is, man. Salute to you, Mikey T, man, for even, putting this together, man. Shout out to my brothers on the channel, SV Twiz. You know what it is, man. My brother Bonds, you know what it is, man. Everybody, you can tap into spillentertainment.com. Chronic Conversation Podcast, about to be coming out soon. Shout out to Spin the Block Radio. Free my brother, the Big R Razor. We out here fighting as we always do, man. And that's how we're going to carry it the reasonable and righteous and honorable way, because there's only one way to carry it, man. And like Twiz say, man, there's only one way, and that's
Free Razor. That's right. Bonds, let them know, man. They should know already that Local Legend is out. If you guys want to hear some dope music, one of Dark Low's last features is actually on Bonds Simmons' new album, The Local Legend. But Bonds, you can tell them a little bit more about that, bro.
Facts. Local Legend is out there streaming on all platforms. Local Legend, Bonds Simmons. Check that out, man. You know what it is. TNR Network, TNR Where. Got the merch popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's the Family Report Card Radio. You're going to catch me here. Mikey T is family.
Facts.
SV Twiz, Rosewood. Y'all know what we got going on.
Facts.
Follow me on all platforms. Bonds Simmons, TNR Network.
Bonds got some shit to go do with Jack Thriller, 16 or better.
Yes, sir.
I respect you on that, Bonds. He's keeping his ears to the streets. And as Fat Joe said, the price is going up. But on that note, I'm going to send it over to Twiz to send us off for the night.
Yes, sir, man. It's SB Twizzy, man. Follow me on the gram _Twiz215, man. On here with the family, the bros, Mikey T, the movie star, Bonds Simmons, Rosewood, the Honorable in the building. Y'all know how we carry it, man. And you know, this report card radio, La Familia, man. This the family for real, man. It's only one way from here. Y'all, it's up. Y'all ready?
Y'all ready, man.
Free
Salute.
Arab.
Definitely
Free
free all the good men.
Men.
Definitely.